Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So last night free agency officially kicked off at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and so much stuff happened. So much to the point where it would literally take me like 8 separate videos today just to cover last night. So I decided I'm going to cover it all here in one video, man. At least all the big time moves. Now keep in mind, like, tons of teams have done tons of different trades and signings, but we are focused on like the big time moves. If there's one that I forgot, I do apologize. Let me know in the comment section below. So yeah, man, before we get going on this video, guys, don't mind dropping that like, and of course, subscribing if you're new to the channel. I'm covering free agency, trades, all that good stuff, man. So I greatly appreciate that. Alrighty, so I guess we'll just kind of go in team order right here, right, man? We got the Philadelphia 76ers. Their big move last night was actually getting Dwight Howard to their team. So obviously Dwight Howard was a pretty big part of the Lakers winning the championship last season. I mean, he was just a good, solid backup center, a guy that could start at times. And that's exactly what the 76ers needed, was just a good quality big behind Joel Embiid. I mean, Dwight is a veteran. He knows how to win basketball games. He knows how to play the game of basketball, right? Which is probably makes sense in the NBA. But then again, you know, you see guys like Stanley Johnson in the NBA, and that statement doesn't really hold true. But no, man, straight up, perfect pickup right here. You know, if Embiid gets injured or something like that, you just know when you have a good quality backup center is definitely going to be huge for this team, no pun intended, going forward. And then the other day, they actually did get Seth Curry also. Fantastic. Literally the type of guy you want next to Ben Simmons on the perimeter. Good moves, Philadelphia. You know, man, you know, round of applause, everybody. Trust the process. Process has been complete. Okay, next up, we have the Atlanta Hawks. So I do apologize. Last night I did make a video about Bogdanovich accepting a deal with the Hawks. My source was completely off, guys. I did delete that video. I do apologize for that, man. But yeah, straight up, it was the big time move yesterday was Gallinari. And they also just actually this morning got Chris Dunn on this team. I don't think he's updated yet. But yeah, Chris Dunn's on this team now too. And I actually posted on Woj's tweet saying that Chris Dunn and Trae Young combined literally make the perfect basketball player. But yeah, my first initial reaction to Gallinari being signed to this team was that it literally makes zero sense. But then about an hour later, I saw a report that John Collins is looking for a max contract. And I was like, okay, it kind of makes sense now, man, because the Hawks should not sign John Collins to a max contract, especially now that they got Gallinari on a 3-year, $62 million deal. Just because, you know, initially Gallo and John Collins cannot be on the court at the same time together. The defense, plus with Trae Young, defense would just be non-existent. Gallo 6'10", guys. You don't really want him starting at small forward. You want him to start at power forward in today's NBA. And John Collins is too weak to play center. He's tried playing center in the past. It simply does not work. So therefore, it's like you got two quality starting power forwards that can't play together, right? So I do think this probably means John Collins is going to be going to a different team or something. Plus, of course, they got a Kongwu. Now, I guess in theory, you know, with Gallo's age, maybe a little bit of injury proneness, not really as of late, but in years past, I guess you could go with Collins and Capella as your starters and a Kongwu and Gallinari off the bench if you really want to strengthen your bench. I guess that's a move, but I don't really know if I want to pay $21 million to bench players, you know, playing simple, man. So I do think John Collins is probably going to be gone off this team sooner rather than later. Just my opinion. Next up, we got the Lakers, man. Okay, so the Lakers have done such a good job, and I think, like, I know people don't want to hear this, especially contending teams. Like some men, my team is... sadness. I almost pointed my Pistons hat saying I was a Piston fan, man, but I'm wearing the gray hat these days. But no, straight up, they just got Montrezl Harrell. 6th man of the year. And you want to know who else they got the other day? We all know this one already. The runner-up to 6th man of the year, Dennis Schroeder, man. You literally cannot do a better job as an organization when you have guys like LeBron, Anthony Davis already on your team. Now, I guess in theory, Anthony Davis could still leave the team. There's no way he's going to. But no, man, getting Montrezl Harrell, like, I know he's not the greatest in the playoffs. And, you know, maybe that's a big reason why he didn't really get, like, a big, huge contract, was because of his playoff play. But I think that's okay when you have LeBron, Anthony Davis on your team, man. Like, Montrez is going to bring that hustle. He's going to bring that grit and grind to this team more so than they already have. He's an upgrade from JaVale McGee or from Dwight Howard. 19.7 rebounds per game, 1 block. He's a guy that you can, like, go to for scoring at times, which would be nice. Like, if LeBron James is out for a game or two, because, you know, he's kind of getting up there in age, then Montrez can kind of be that second leading scorer on the team, or third leading scorer. They've done such a good job. They've done a good job to allow LeBron James to maybe just, like, not go as hard during the regular season. Like, he can kind of take a step back, man, save it for the playoffs, right? In my opinion, like I said, this solidified the Lakers as the champions next season, guys. I mean, this team to me is better than last year, especially, you know, they can get like KCP back too, who was nice for them at times. They got Wesley Matthews recently too, who's just like a he's a guy, that can shoot baskets and stuff, man. He's no longer his Portland Trailblazers self, but I know other fans of other teams don't want to hear this. Like I said, I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a Pistons fan. Maybe it's not obvious anymore, but yeah, I think it kind of solidified the Lakers as champions, guys. And that's not to say they will win it. It's just my favorites at the moment. Next up, we got the Pelicans. So, okay, they did a lot of things. I guess there was like some big, huge, complicated 4-team trade. I have no idea what it actually consisted of outside of Steven Adams going to this team. All I know is that this is what the team looks like right now. And I was a little actually confused by this one, man. Steven Adams is a good player, good interior guy. Just like a guy that's going to set like hard picks, stuff like that. Like we know what Steven Adams is. Like he's not going to like kill the stat sheet. If anything, I would actually say he's pretty close, like stat-wise, to like the modern-day Ben Wallace, where Ben Wallace never really put up the sexiest stat line, but he really influenced the game heavily. That's kind of what Steven Adams is, right, man? The issue is that, they actually also just signed, because he's not on here for whatever reason. Like I said, it's not all updated rosters yet. They actually recently just re-signed Derek Favors to a 3-year, $30 million contract. So you got Favors and Adams as your rotation, which essentially means no spacing and clogging up the center, the paint around Zion. So I don't know if like Stan Van Gundy only saw like that first game that Zion played where he made like 4 threes in a row. It was like, yo, this man's Rashard Lewis out here. Zion's not really Rashard Lewis. He's a fine 3-point shooter. I think he's got good potential. He didn't really shoot them after that last game, so his 3-point shot's a little inflated at 43% right here. But yeah, man, like I was not a huge fan. And that's not to say they're bad players. It's just system-wise, like you can be a good player but a bad fit. And I thought, just it was kind of a piss-poor fit. But who knows? Maybe I'll be proven wrong out there, right, man? I really hope I am. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing with it. I got my Detroit Pistons. Yeah, guys. Okay, so I talked about this team quite a bit yesterday. Now, on my video, the Pistons now have 17 centers. Now, since then, they did sign Jeremy Grant to a $60 million contract. A lot of people are saying that's an overpay. Now, one of the reasons why I disagree with that is that the Nuggets actually also offered him $60 million. So it's not like the Pistons are going out there saying, like, man, this guy's worth $60 million and nobody else agrees. Like, obviously, the Nuggets, who he was part of their team last season, see something in him also. Like, he's a good player, and the reason that he actually ended up going to the Pistons, I don't know if he was a restricted free agent, but essentially the reason was like the Nuggets were cool with it because they're like, okay, like we understand he wants a bigger role than what he's going to get over here, and the Pistons will allow him to have that role. So he's only 26. I think what we're going to see is Jeremy Grant is going to have a career year next season, and down the road, I mean, that could be like a trade chip, right? Like if a guy can have this type of contract, put up really good numbers, then all of a sudden that deal doesn't look as bad, and other teams that are contending are looking to trade for those guys, with draft picks and stuff like that, man. So I'm excited for him. Like I said, it was a whole lot of hellish nonsense going on last night with the Pistons. This was a nice break, and I mean, we lost Christian Wood, obviously. Blake Griffin. I was hearing rumors of Blake Griffin being signed and traded, or not signed and traded, but just simply traded to the Nuggets for Jeremy Grant and Plumlee because their contracts match up. So I hope that happens. I like Blake Griffin a lot, man. He's my wallpaper on my computer right now. But I also like players that can actually play, and Griffin, when he plays, is great. It's not that often, though, man. He gets injured a lot, so I don't know if the Nuggets really want to take him on. But yeah, I was cool with Jeremy Grant on this team. He'll be a nice player. Can play the power forward. Looks like he can play some center. I think he's more of a power forward / small forward. Hopefully he can play out there with Sekou Doumbouya and stuff like that at times. We also got DeLon Wright, who I remember him from like the Toronto Raptors. I like him. Obviously not like killing the stat sheet. I mean, literally what I see here with him is just like an older, more veteran Bruce Brown. Like, Bruce Brown left the Pistons, went to the Nets, didn't leave him, got traded away. Similar, like, literally similar stats, a bit older, a bit more mature, I guess. So I guess we got that. He'll get, like, some backup shooting guard minutes, I suppose. We don't really have a shooting guard outside of him, though. I guess we got Jordan McRae, which I don't know how good he is. But, yeah, I guess maybe Svi will probably start at shooting guard, not really sure. And next up, we got the Houston Rockets, man. Y'all got the man, Christian Wood. Now, at the making of this video, it could still be, it's simply he just went there. There's rumors that it could be a sign and trade. So we are kind of waiting to hear back about that, which based off his contract, $13 million, you could see like an Eric Gordon maybe get traded over to the Pistons in a sign and trade. That's really the only contract that works unless they want to get crazy, give us Russell Westbrook or James Harden. We probably don't need, I mean, I would love James Harden, but we don't really need Westbrook. Like, it would be like another like Blake Griffin move, like simply like sell tickets, but kind of like stagnates the rebuild. But yeah, Christian Wood fits in perfectly with this Rockets team, man. He dunks the basketball and he shoots 3-pointers. I mean, Last season, 13.6 rebounds. Doesn't really tell the full story. The last 10 games when Drummond was traded, he was averaging about 20 and like 10 rebounds per game, something like that. He was a 20 and 10 guy essentially, man. And yeah, as a Pistons fan, I'm really disappointed. You guys can check out my second channel, Extra Crispy, to get a full reaction to that. I was not too happy, guys. I was definitely going through something, man. But, you know, shout out to the Rocket fans, I guess. I thought he was a diamond in the rough. Hoping, you know, being behind two big-time stat guys, hopefully his numbers don't decrease. It definitely could, but the man got paid in the end of the day, so sometimes that's what it's all about with some of these players, right? They want to get paid. They don't want to be a leader. They want to be third in command, right? So you were third in command. You could have been the guy on Detroit. Now you're a guy on the Rockets. Shout out to the Rocket fans, though. You guys got a hell of a player. And then we're back to the 76ers. Okay, so those were like the big-time moves. I guess let me pull up my tracker real quick here on my end. That you got. Yo, I just saw a tweet. D'Anthony Melton has agreed to a 4-year deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. That's cool. Good player. Okay, not really. I mean, he was on their team last year. So looking at the tracker, Jakob Poeltl back to the Spurs for $27 million. Damn, bro. I mean, that's some Mason Plumlee money right there. But, I mean, Jakob literally just stands there. Patrick Patterson back on the Clippers. Marcus Moore's big-ass contract to the Clippers. Derrick Jones contract to the Trailblazers. I love that move, man. That's a good move. Because they also just got, what's his name? Who else did they just get? They got somebody. I can't remember who it was. I know Rodney Hood's back on the team. Derrick Jones should be a nice wing player for them. Josh Jackson, obviously, on the Pistons now. I mean, I guess the shot in the dark right there. Like, who knows what he could be. Rodney Hood back to the Trailblazers. Mo Harkless. Anthony Gill. Have no idea who that is on the Wizards. Okay. Goran Dragic back to the Heat. I mean, that happened like yesterday. That was like the first thing that actually happened. Malik Beasley back to the Timberwolves. Hopefully he has solved his other personal life things, because he was a 20-point per game scorer for them last year in limited time. So who really knows? And looking at my trade tracker real quick here. Yeah, Adams stuff's happening. Trevor Ariza to the Thunder. Obviously, that was part of like the whoever we just got. Bro, my memory is DeLon Wright. Okay, whatever. Ennis Cantor, the Trailblazers. Yeah, man, we pretty much covered everything here. So I'll probably go back to the individual videos. This is probably how it will be. Like, during the day, I will cover big-time individual trades. But, like, when 17 things happen during the night, my first video of the day will probably just be, like, a summary like this. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video. Be sure to drop that like. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And peace. Oh, wait. Should I do a simulation? I feel like a simulation is kind of pointless right now, man. Because like this roster I'm using had like 50 players that are just not currently signed to teams, like Serge Ibaka, DeMarcus Cousins, Fred VanVleet. So I just like deleted them because they're not on a team right now. I didn't want them to get assigned to random teams. So yeah, I don't really want to do a simulation for this one, just because it doesn't make too much sense at the moment. So hopefully 2K actually does a roster update so I can just continue using that. But that's all we got, man. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, guys.